Hello, I am France Villeneuve. I am the Regional Manager for Northern Hemisphere and Pacific Rim, NHPR. This is the region which covers the largest time zone from a business in the state of Oregon on the west coast of the US through Europe to Mongolia and the Philippines in Asia. Unlike the other regions, the portfolio mainly consists of buyers and traders, primarily in the UK and the US, with few businesses in Europe and 2 aircraft producers in Asia. NHPR is still looking into expanding its reach to producer in Asia, but with the present situation with the COVID pandemic outbreak, it has slowed down our research due to travel restriction. NHPR were however able to travel to fairs in February, where we met several businesses. In terms of product mix, this is probably the region which does not have a main product and offers the most diversity. For example, we work with several textile businesses selling ethical clothing, including fair trade school uniforms. At the same time, we work with traders, coffee, cocoa, nuts, dried fruits, or organizations making chocolate or snack bar, either under a supermarket brand or their own brand. Though the majority of the buyer organizations we work with are selling both food and handcraft items. This could be via their own retail shops, through World Shop or wholesales to other businesses. Some of these buyers were already selling online and others were in the process to do so. With the pandemic outbreak, it has forced many of them to speed up this shift as this was crucial for their sustainability, especially for the handcraft market, as many recorded lower levels of sales during that period. Organizations selling food items were not affected the same way, and in some instances, sales this year were even higher than previous years. When shared interest first started over 30 years ago, most of the funds were lent to fair trade buyers in the north. This was because one of the fair trade principles encouraged fair trade buyers to provide at least 50% upfront payment to their suppliers. Although in recent years we have considerably increased our direct lending to producers in Africa and Latin America, we've seen a decrease in lending to buyers. However, it is still important to continue to support buyer organizations for several reasons. First, it's to help ensuring that there's still a fair trade market in the north for the producer in developing countries to sell to. As we have seen recently with the pandemic outbreak, many commercial or mainstream buyers did not provide support to their suppliers, and in many cases orders were cancelled, which left the producer group without any payment for several months. In contrast, most of our fair trade buyers have strong and long-standing relationships with their producer group, and only a few orders were cancelled. In most cases, our customer buyers remain in constant communication with their suppliers. Some orders were unfortunately delayed or reduced, but this was due to restriction in both producer and buyer countries. Also, many of our customers undertook crowdfunding initiatives to raise funds to support the most vulnerable groups they work with. Another reason why it's important to continue to provide funds to buyer organizations is due to the legal restriction to lend funds directly in some countries, especially in Asia, including Pakistan, Nepal, India, and Bangladesh, which are countries where a large majority of handcraft producers are located. Therefore, through the line of credit provided to the buyers, shared interest can support indirectly this producer by receiving the much-needed pre-finance. Finally, some fair trade producer groups are quite small, and even without the legal restriction explained, they could not afford to have a facility with shared interests. Therefore, by providing working capital to their buyers, it's the buyers who are assuming the cost of borrowing, which once again helps to support small-scale farmers and artisan groups in developing countries. Prior to the pandemic, there was a concern about the decline of the handcraft market, especially in NHPR, and we have seen unfortunately a few of our customers forced to cease trading in recent years. However, if there's one positive side of this pandemic, is that it has changed the way that consumers are buying and choosing their products, along with putting more pressure on conventional buyers to trade ethically. This is something that fair trade businesses have been doing for several decades, and in many cases exceed the standards set out by many companies' code of conduct. Therefore, it is believed that more than ever, fair trade businesses, including buyers, are key players to ensure that farmers and artisans all around the world can improve their livelihood and trade their way out of poverty.